Welcome to this week's Maryland's Missing and the Murdered. Maryland's Missing and the Murdered is a weekly YouTube channel that covers missing and murdered individuals from the state of Maryland. This week I'm covering the murders of Dante Barksdale and Frankye Duckett. Dante Barksdale had worked 10 plus years to help keep Baltimore, Maryland safe. He was the author of Growing Up Barksdale, a True Baltimore Story. Written in his book was, quote, "The most gangster shit in this world is forgiveness," end quote. He was known as Tater in the Baltimore Safe Streets program. Safe Streets idea is that communities are better able to watch their communities and neighborhoods to help keep them safe. The program also worked with young people to help mediate conflicts. Dante had turned his life around visiting high crime areas of Baltimore, speaking to people, and tried to make Baltimore safer. In 2017, WBAL witnessed Dante Barksdale at work on the street, de-escalating a fight occurring. He was known as a violence interrupter. On January 17, 2021, Dante Barksdale was shot in the head at a housing complex. He did not survive. Baltimore City Police Commissioner Harrison stated in a news conference that Dante Barksdale was in the area for work. He could not give a motive as details were still coming in. He had called Dante's work as a, quote, "an invaluable and embodied a message of redemption and peace," end quote. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott said, quote, "Dante Barksdale was the heart and soul of Safe Streets," end quote. Community leaders were deeply upset over Dante's death, and his story was covered on national news, CNN. On May 20th, 2021, 28-year-old Garrett Powell was arrested for Dante's murder. In February 2021, Garrett Powell was arrested after a traffic stop in Brooklyn Park. He was arrested for having possession of 2 guns, heroin, fentanyl, and marijuana. Garrett Powell has a long arrest history involving being charged and cleared of murder, witness intimidation, and probation violation for cocaine possession. After being arrested in February, he was placed on home monitoring, yet absconded from the monitoring and was wanted for that. The police were able to link the gun that Powell had on him in February to Dante Barksdale's murder, as well as witness identification and cell phone data linking him to the crime. Witnesses to the murder told police that it was not a random encounter between Barksdale and Powell, that they had had a conversation before Barksdale was shot. Garrett Powell's court date is currently unknown. On to the next case, Frankye Duckett. Frankye Duckett was a 49-year-old MBA Mobility Link bus driver working on January 29, 2021. He had a wife and 4 children. He was on his last ride when he told his sister Denise on the phone, who also drove for Mobility Link, that something was going to happen and he would call her back. He never called her back. The next call Denise received was when she was told her brother was shot in the bus he was driving. According to Maryland State's Attorney's Office, when Frankye picked up an elderly woman on Mulberry Street in Baltimore, a man who was waiting with her got into an argument with Frankye. The woman told Frankye that the man was her grandson, Marquise Poteet. As they were driving along and stopped on Moravia Road, the bus camera caught someone get out of a beige Buick LeSabre and fire a gun through Frankie's driver's window. The man reached through the window and kept firing as Frankie ran to the back of the bus to safety. The gunman then got back into the LeSabre and the car drove off. The Buick LeSabre was found later that day and the driver, Ernest Ford, was arrested. He told police that Marquise Poteet told him he needed a ride and that they followed the bus. That Marquise Poteet was the one who got out of the car and shot Frankye Duckett. He then told police that he dropped Marquise Poteet back off where he picked him up. Ernest Ford was charged with first-degree murder, gun charges, and conspiracy to commit murder. His trial begins on June 1st, 2021. Frankye Duckett's stepfather told WBFF that he was told the argument between Frankie and Poteet was because Poteet did not want to wear a mask on the bus. Marquise Poteet was a wanted man. Police finally arrested Poteet on April 6, 2021 in Florence, South Carolina. He was charged with first and second degree murder, assault, and gun charges. He was extradited back to Maryland on April 25, 2021, and his preliminary trial begins on May 25, 2021, which is tomorrow, is the date that I'm recording this. Thank you for joining me this week. If there is a Maryland's missing or murdered case that you would like to see on this channel, email me at marylandsmissing@gmail.com. Music is by Silent Vengeance. Sources will be listed in the outro. Click the bell so you'll be notified when the next cases are released. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next week. Be kind to one another. You never know what will happen tomorrow.